Hi, in this video I will be installing a cover on my Toyota Celica steering wheel. It's a universal one, so it will not look the best. I'll show how to remove the steering wheel and reinstall it, and also how I stitched this steering wheel cover on. It is really cheap solution, it's less than 10 euros. I think I paid 4 euros for this cover, and the rest was just 2 hours of my time. Obviously, if you want to have a perfect steering wheel, you should take it to a professional. However, that's over 100 euros, maybe 200 euros to get that done. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will show it in reverse because I already removed it. And before you start any work, there's an airbag. Be sure to disconnect the negative battery cable. You will have plastic covers on the sides here. They are like this, and I used a pry tool. I think the best was to get it from the side, not from even the top. On both sides you will have one of these torque screws, T30. It's like yeah, so on both sides you have this yellow screw. These screws are a little bit tricky. I'll show it here, because when you just keep turning the screw, then it actually won't come out because it has these plastic clips here. So this tiny edge will remain here even though you keep turning the screw and turning the screw. So you have to kind of pry it out a little so that the head is visible. Otherwise it will not release the airbag. So this is what holds the airbag in. These screws go in here, and if you can't get the airbag out, you cannot remove the main nut from here, and you will have a bad time. When you're removing the steering wheel, like before you pull it out, make sure it's straight, because when you're putting it back, then you know that you're putting it back correctly, and the steering will be nicely straight. You have one of these clips here. To remove this clip, you have to press it down. So you have to press to here, and then you can pull it out. It wasn't the easiest to get out, but it wasn't too bad. And here we have a nut, 19 millimeters, and you will need extension because it's deep down in here. The torque is 34 Newton meters. Now the nut is in, the wires are in, it's time for the airbag. And once more, be sure your battery is disconnected. This is a fucking explosive. Now that this is in place, you will have to screw these screws in from the sides. These from the side here are 8 Newton meters. So it's not very strong, it's just hand tight. One of the kits is the steering wheel cover. Well, I think the ad did say that it's leather, which it's not even bad quality fake leather. However, I did order multiple. This one actually seems to be of better quality. This one actually looks like more like leather. It was really difficult to get it around. It was barely the correct size. Like, I had to really stretch it, which is actually good because then it's tight. And of course, since this is a universal one, you can see that I will have to accept that here will be this different material. In order to get started with this one, I actually tied one end of the string here, and this enables you to really pull on this so you can get the good tension on initially. Then you go zigzag to here. Here you just do a U-turn, so you just start going back the other zigzag. So first you put only every second of these, yeah? Next one goes here. And once I get back here, I undo this knot here, and then you can tie these both ends together into one. So then you have one string that does this. So initially you skip every second of these, and the first time around you will have a gap between the two leathers. It's okay. I think like 1 to 2 millimeters is fine. You can close it later on your way back. Like 1.5 or 1 millimeter is probably the best. Like really in the beginning take your time, otherwise you have to undo everything later. Now that I reached this like end, then for the U-turn, now you don't skip the last one, but you take the next one and then you pull it together. It's really difficult to do it with one hand. And now you start going back like this. So all the empty skipped ones, you go back with the zigzag, and then you tighten it that it will pull together this remaining edge here. And yeah, of course you have to retighten it, and sometimes doing like this also helps to get the gap closed. So you pull the string and you a bit play with it, and then it really closes up. And once you reach back, one of these strings is on one side, the one that we initially bound here is on the other side. Now I'll undo this knot and knot these together and do the final stretch. But as you can hopefully see, there is no more gap anymore. If you choose the same color leather and the stitching, then any mistakes or unevenness is really not that noticeable. If you would have like red stitching, then definitely any mistake or unevenness will be visible. Finished product, I don't think it took me more than an hour, or maybe a little bit over an hour. Clearly I'm not a professional, but it still looks 10 times better than before. One thing I learned from doing the Lexus steering wheel is definitely that take the steering wheel off the car. Way easier, much nicer to get all these even gaps here and everything. So I think I will get used to it, but it's still better than it was really torn apart from here, and it at least feels nice. Definitely fake leather. For this cheap, this is pretty good. Now I'll also try to get the shift knob, and of course the steering wheel would deserve to get proper leathering done. If you are not, I don't know, car show person, then this is totally fine, I think.